Welcome back to Absolute Carnage, right here at Comicstorian. This is the channel where we bring you the audio drama version of your favorite comic book. And last time on Absolute Carnage, we discovered that Carnage was revived from the dead by the god of the symbiotes, Null. Carnage then moved forward using the Grendel symbiote and started taking the spines of anybody who had ever had a symbiote, because anybody who had ever had a symbiote had kept a piece of that symbiote in their spine, which led to Carnage trying to collect all the loose pieces. Venom and Spider-Man had teamed up and were trying to save everyone who had ever used a symbiote, but it ultimately led to Venom deciding that Eddie was too weak. And so, what do you do when your host is too weak? You find a new host, and who happened to be there? Bruce Banner. We now have Venom-Hulk, everyone, and that's where we left off. This is Comicstorian. We take video games, we take movies, we take TV shows and comic books, and we take the storylines that happened within them, and we break them down into a synopsis or an audio drama. We allow you to listen while on a long drive or cooking dinner for the night, and I hope you enjoy. Now, let's get into Absolute Carnage number 4. Venom! Smash! And the wall explodes as Venom-Hulk's fist connects with Carnage's face, throwing the two of them out onto the concrete. Carnage cackles, screaming for more, and Spider-Man stands guard, watching the Carnage spawns joining the fight as Eddie Brock, now venomless, pulls open the door from within the old safe house. As he opens the door, the fact that Venom abandoned him keeps running through his mind. And Dylan calls out, "Eddie, we can't go! Sleeper's back there!" Dylan tries to explain, referring to the symbiote that had recently bonded with a cat, the Sleeper symbiote that is one of the children of Venom. "Sleeper can take care of itself," Eddie tells the boy, and the group move into the next room with Eddie slamming the door behind them. A brief moment passes while he tries to regain his breath. "Alright, all should be good. Spider-Man, stay in here and don't let anything get in," he tells the wall crawler. He then clicks on a light, revealing the anti-symbiote tech that lines the walls. "Eddie, you go out there, you're gonna die. Do you understand me?" Spider-Man tries to explain, but Eddie turns to him, determination in his face. "I can't protect them, Pete. I'm useless in here. At least out there I can make sure that they don't kill the Avengers in their sleep." His face turns to one of anguish as he talks to his once enemy, now friend. "You're all I have. Please, for whatever I've been to you over the years, just do this for me, promise." Pete nods, putting his hand on Eddie's shoulder. "As long as I'm standing, nothing gets to these boys. You have my word." Eddie quickly begins to sort through the pile, pulling out a gauntlet, and Spider-Man explains that the rest of the Avengers will be out for at least another 10 minutes. Eddie nods, picking up Captain America's shield. "Got it. I got 10 minutes. I can pretend to be a superhero for 10 minutes. He explodes into the room, with Carnage spawns turning towards him, and he charges into them. Cap's shield cracking against their skulls, and he grits his teeth, another blow knocking away another spawn. "Oh, Eddie!" The spawn that was once Miles Morales hisses at him from above. Eddie turns up, looking at the hero. "Hey, kid," and with that, Miles leaps upon him. Outside in the pouring rain, Carnage and Venom-Hulk begin to trade blows. Carnage knocks him down, endlessly chattering, so Hulk punches him in the face, stunning him for a brief moment before he grabs his jaw, trading to force it open and snap it. From Carnage's throat, tendrils snake out and they pierce Hulk's skull, snaking into his brain. "Yeah! Go!" Hulk screams, and he can hear Cletus's voice in his mind, screaming for him to get out. Inside, claws are slashing across Eddie's back, bringing pain and blood, and he turns, swinging the shield to try and knock aside Miles. But the creatures leap onto the shield. "You know what, kid? That's enough. Most people will try to talk you down right now. Say something like you're still in there. Fight it. But I've been where you are, swallowed by the darkness, making you watch horrible things." Eddie strains, placing the gauntlet against the shield. "Last time it happened to me, you broke me out by nearly shocking me to death. Remember that? You called it a Venom Blast." Electricity then surges through the vibranium and into Miles, and he rears back, screaming in pain as he's launched across the room. He then stands up with the symbiote falling off of his body, and he looks around confused. "Did I hurt anyone?" Miles Morales asks Eddie Brock meekly. "You're fine, kid. Come on, we ain't done." As the spawns begin to recover, Eddie and Miles charge outside. They know that if Carnage gets Venom, he will be unstoppable. And outside, the symbiote begins to peel away from Hulk's face, making him roar in the pouring rain. Carnage keeps working, and Hulk drops consciousness, allowing Banner to emerge. Carnage holds up the tiny scientist, laughing into the night, and with that, Eddie and Miles arrive, watching. as Carnage rips Venom out of Banner, absorbing Venom into himself. The symbiote surges around him, adding to his power. Now that's more like it! Cassidy laughs, turning his body, now augmented with horns erupting from his head. Where were we, Brock? The two stare, stunned at what stands before them. Oh my god, Eddie whispers, but suddenly a hand is placed on his shoulder. You've done a good job, Brock, the voice tells him, forcing Eddie to turn around. Captain America smiles, his fist flying out, knocking away a spawn that was coming up behind him. Now what do you say? He smiles, taking his shield. Think I can have a turn with that thing? He leaps into the fight with Carnage, and Wolverine and the Thing are right behind him. The three heroes charge, meeting the monster blow for blow, and Eddie watches the fight, but Miles grabs him. They begin to fight their way back through the Spawn, who are attacking the Maker's machine, and Miles explains that he could sense it when he was bonded. The machine doesn't destroy codexes. It collects them. The Maker wasn't saving people, he was amassing power. Eddie stares at the enemies that are before him, and he can sense that the heroes have already fallen outside. The monsters are ripping at the door that protects Spider-Man and the boy who still doesn't even know that he is Eddie's son. Osborn charges through the wall, and Spider-Man readies himself. This far, Osborn. Not another inch, he snarls, and Eddie walks up to the machine. Miles begins to fight the spawns behind him. Outside, Carnage is stretching, his venom wings expanding to their full width. If you'll excuse me, I have a god to awaken. Eddie can feel it through the codex that is still within him as he places his hand on the machine. The other codexes that the Maker was collecting are surging inside. He feels it for the first time since this fight began. Hope. Outside, Carnage leaps into the sky, and inside, Spider-Man tries to hold Osborn back. So Eddie punches through the machine, revealing the swirling symbiotes within. The liquid surges forward, pouring over Eddie Brock, and the codexes writhe and twist around him, combining, and they melt together inside of him, the voices of many hosts. The power surges through him, and it is nothing like Eddie's ever felt before. He falls to his knees, his back arches, and great leathery wings sprout free. This ends with all of us, he snarls in his head, leaping into the air. We're stronger together. Together, we are Venom. And that is the conclusion to Absolute Carnage number 4. Number 5 will be out tomorrow, so you might want to subscribe to the channel and turn on that bell to get the notification when the finale to this epic series comes writhing forward. Sorry, been doing a lot of symbiote stuff. Writhing seemed like the proper terminology here. Now, if you're wondering who the Maker is and what that machine was, the Maker is an evil version of Reed Richards from an alternate reality that created a machine that will pull symbiotes out of the spines of those individuals. So it's kind of useful. We thought he was trying to help everyone, but it turns out he was collecting all that power. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. Please consider going to my Twitter @Comicstorian, where you can follow and chat about whatever you want. And I'll see you next time.